Let us know and then we can kill that channel in a moment. Let us know and then we can kill that channel in a moment. We can kill that channel in a moment. We can kill that channel in a moment.
Let's not bicker and argue about who killed who.
My name's Matt, welcome back to the shop.
G'day everybody and welcome back. Well, yeah, it's all escalated very nicely. So just to catch everyone up, this whole thing all started over Evan's waterless coolant videos that the workshop YouTube channel did. Evans is shit, this is why. Next thing you know, someone's saying, oh, Delboy loves Evans and he did a video, and then Matt picked that video to bits because, well, to be honest, you know, I think Del's a bit out of his depth with a lot of the technical stuff. He's okay with a lot of things, but once it starts to get a bit more involved, you know, he struggles, and he ends up getting half of the information and making the rest up. So I took a bit of offence to that as well when I did a video last week and got stuck into Delboy too. And it seems that Matt and I share quite a few subscribers. In fact, I've picked up a ton of subscribers since all this has happened, and that was not my aim, but I am appreciative of the guys that have come on board with my channel. I hope you like XS 1100s, boys. But the reality is that Del has done a lot of things that are, quite frankly, dangerous in terms of potential to harm your equipment or harm yourself. And obviously, Matt feels the same.
When someone with 70,000 subscribers, when someone who will eventually have 100,000 subscribers, and all the rest of it like Del, do videos that are, one, could damage your stuff based on what they say, and two, can actually be dangerous. Examples. Evans is more likely to increase the chances of your engine from overheating, right? That is just the way it is. I will show you and absolutely categorically prove it, right? There is more chance of you actually overheating than not overheating with 50-50 mix. This is why Evans have been trying to get manufacturers to endorse it, and manufacturers won't endorse it because they understand physics. You know, this is the whole point, is that it's the screwdriver hardening. Do not, if you watch these bikers tips about, you know, quick tips or whatever, workshop tips or whatever it's called, about hardening flat-bladed screwdriver tips, do not do that. It is dangerous, especially if you're a younger guy. You could go blind from just following what he tells you to do because he doesn't understand anything about metallurgy or metallurgy, whichever one you want to say, and it's clearly evident because of what he tells you to do.
So Matt returned fire, and he got stuck into Delboy, and justifiably too, because you know, one of the other things that Delboy does is he manages his comments, and this has become extremely evident. Matt has now received in excess of 100 emails from people saying he pulled my comments down too. So I mean, and that's up to Del. If he wants to manage his channel that way, that's fine. But what he's doing is he's circumventing accountability. You know, you go and say something that's the wrong thing and could potentially put someone at risk. Somebody critiques that, then he strips it down. That's how he works. And that's what he got wind of all this Delboy bashing, in his view, and he just did what Delboy does. Let's kill the channel. So he tried to kill Matt's channel.
Let us know and then we can kill that channel in a moment. Let us know and then we can kill that channel in a moment. We can kill that channel in a moment.
Now, as a YouTube creator, I know how devastating that would be. All those years of work that Matt's put into that channel, and there's over 600 quality videos with quality content and interaction from his subscriber base and all of the people that have donated to his channel, all the rest of it would all just be wiped out in one fell swoop because Delboy got upset, his feelings got hurt because somebody called him out. Now, as YouTube creators, we have a bit of we're a little bit less constrained than a lot of other media outlets, so we can basically say what we think. we can also use content from copyrighted content under certain conditions, which is classified as fair use. And Matt, I believe, did that. Delboy didn't believe that because he saw his logo and he thought, right, that's it, I've got him, I've nailed him, he's used my logo, I'm gonna jump on it. So Matt, typical Matt fashion, he replied with another series of videos where he censored all of Delboy's logos. It was rather humorous. Don't know whether Del would have seen the funny side of it, but I'll give you a quick look at what he did. He basically tried to, well, didn't try to, he didn't have to do too hard. Del made himself look like a goose, but Matt hid the logos.
It is thicker than regular 50/50 coolant. Yes, it is. That's quite correct. It's a little bit thicker. I don't know how to measure viscosity in terms of it, but I could suggest in thinking about it that regular coolant be that consistency of, say, milk, whatever, you know, a little bit thicker than water. This is more like brake fluid. It's got that kind of gloopy feel to it, and yes, that is more viscose, which means yes, it will be thicker, a little bit harder to push through all the little oilways. Right.
Now, I don't think that putting poo emojis on there is all that nice, but you know, that's Matt's style. So, in response to the radiator cap video, there was a comment in my comments from a gentleman that pointed out to me that Del actually did a follow-up video apologising for misleading people about the expansion bottle. Now, I pinned that to the top so everyone could see and make sure that you know, we had a balanced argument. I went back into Del's channel and I checked that video, and it was a bit disappointing, to be honest. Yes, he fessed up and said that he had misled people about the expansion bottle, or what's it called, overflow bottle. But what I think's happened is somebody's handed him a radiator cap and said, look, Del, this is how it actually works. So he's like a kid with a new toy. He's all excited. He wants to impart that knowledge then on everybody else. So my problem with it was the way that Del delivered that apology. Essentially, in my view, was suggesting that people were actually confused and didn't understand what he meant, and it's somehow the viewer's fault. That's my view. I'll let you decide, because in order to let Del defend himself, I've got a few grabs off his original video. The video was about loud pipes. It wasn't about the radiator cap. This was a preface to his video. So I'll put the link to the full video, if you like, in the description, so that it's fair and you can go and make your own opinion up. I've had to chop the video up in order to satisfy the fair use criteria from YouTube, and also because I know Del's super sensitive about his logo being out there and painted in a bad light, I guess, I've also edited the video to cover that up. But unlike Matt, I didn't put poo on it. I actually tried to show him some level of respect at least, and I used an image that reminds me of his logo a little bit more. When I first saw his logo, this is what I thought it sort of looked like, so I've used that instead of the poo, just out of a bit of respect. So yeah, I'll let Del take it from here.
Thing, and we all love our bikes, we don't want to put the wrong thing in them. Okay, now in the course of those last two videos, I made an error. I simply slipped up, I said something that was incorrect, and I want to put it straight, because some of you are a little confused, and one or two of you are rubbed up the wrong way by it. It seems you're quite easily upset. Straight, because some of you are a little confused, 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 and one or two of you are rubbed up the wrong way by it. It seems you're quite easily upset. It seems you're quite easily upset. It seems you're quite easily upset. It seems you're quite easily upset.
Is he crazy?
No, just ignorant. Just ask this scientician.
I made the distinction between a header tank and an overflow bottle. So they're two different systems. One is a three-part system. The header tank and the engine and the radiator, they are three things, and they're all in the same system. So the coolant runs between all of them. It runs from the engine to the radiator, to the header tank, engine, radiator, header tank, and it goes round and round and round. And as that system expands, the header tank has a big gap in it, a big gap of air. And it has a level on it as well. So as things heat up and the steam develops in the system, so as things heat up and the steam develops in the system, and the steam develops in the system, and the steam develops in the system, it expands up into that header tank. Now this is a pressure cap, and that cap has a spring. You can see that spring in there, inside, and there's a rubber seal there. And that rubber seal sits around the neck of the radiator, sealing the system with spring pressure. And when that pressure of the steam, expands enough, it pushes that spring back out of the way and forces its way past the seal, down the overflow tube into the overflow bottle. And that's it. Now at that point I said, it stays there, it doesn't go back to the engine. Well, I'm a monkey boy. Well, I'm a monkey boy. It does. This little thing doesn't finish being clever at just that spring. It has another little clever thing, and that's the little brass hat there. And if you look, that is spring loaded. There. Now that little thing, like that, that will be forced out of the way far easier than the steam. Because the steam's coming out under heat, under pressure, so it's got quite a lot of force to force it out of the way. But the contraction, that capillary action, isn't quite so forceful as it's all cooling down. So that's why they put a super light spring on that. And all it does, it just flows past there. You can even see there's a little lip on it. See the fact that it curves downwards? It's got like a little lip all the way around the edge to allow the flow of the fluid to come out. So it doesn't catch, it allows it to come back in. Okay, is that it? Are you happy? Does that make it clear? I hope so. Any problems? Come back to me, I'll explain it again. Any problems? Come back to me, I'll explain it again.
Any problems? Come back to me, I'll explain it again.
But I don't think there will be. It seems that we have earned your trust and your respect, and that you trust the things we say, because we don't normally put each other wrong, do we, folks?
Bye for now.